Okay, so today we have The Cure and Lullaby. So it has been years since I last reacted to The Cure, and part of that is because in my early days on YouTube, I reacted to a lot of The Cure, a lot of their songs, but I don't believe I've ever reacted to this song. I looked through the channel, did not see it, so we're going to get into it, talk about it after here. Lullaby, I imagine this is going to be The Cure's take on a lullaby, which might not be the same as everybody else's, so I'm intrigued. I'm happy to finally get back into some Cure here. Let's go. And watch the video too. Jesus. Moody as all hell.
Softly through the shadow of the evening sun, stealing past the windows of the blissfully dead, looking for the vintage shivering bed, searching out fear in the gathering gloom, and suddenly over in the corner of the room, and there is nothing I can do. When I realize we're flying, Spider-Man is having me for dinner tonight.
Oh, boy.
Quietly laughs, shaking his head, creeps closer now, closer to the foot of the bed, and softer than a shadow and curving thighs. His arms are around me and his tongue in my eyes. Still becoming quiet now, my precious boy. Don't struggle like that, I will only love you more. Oh, it's much too late to get away. Turn on the light. The Spider-Man is having you for dinner tonight, and I feel like I'm being eaten by 1,000 alerting, shivering fairy. Oh, moonlight in the morning, I will wake up in the shivering cold, and the Spider-Man is always hungry.
Plucking. Oh my God. Oh, goodness. Good Lord. Okay. Oh my goodness. The Cure and Lullaby as the video finishes up there. My God. What the I don't know what to say off the get-go. Again, it's been years since I last reacted to The Cure, but I've not lost my love for them, not lost my love for Robert Smith's voice. It never ages. I'm going to say this off the top again. like I said in many other reactions, but it bears repeating. You listen to Robert Smith today, he's in his 60s, and he still sounds so good. He still sounds like he's 30-something. I mean, I gotta say, like, one of the best voices in rock, even today. I just have to say that off the top. His live performances are still so energetic, and so, I mean, as energetic as he could be with his type of, with his genre. But, it's just nuts. But anyway, and that showing up here, he didn't really show off his vocal chops too much in a soaring way. He was very hushed. He was very quiet. He was very fucking creepy. Holy moly. I mean, it's, after midnight as I do this, I got to go to bed at some point. And now I'm going to be waiting for a Spider-Man to be at the end of my bed. Not the good Spider-Man, from the 60s comics and then the later movies or whatever. But, I mean, yeah, his hushed vocals, his strained voice in a way as well, how he never really talks, in a really at all a soft spoken voice or anything. It's all pretty much just whispery. I mean, as a fan of ASMR, I'm into it, I gotta say, but it's unsettling, obviously. And the video too, I don't know if the video is gonna get blocked, you never know with YouTube, but him just in bed. I mean, at the end of the day, the video is just him laying in bed, but with everything surrounding him. I love the bandmates in there surrounding him as well. You had the guy on the keys there as well, and the plucking and all that stuff on the the strings, and the drummer just on beat. And just so like sinisterly, if that's a word, sinisterly. But everyone in it is just so sinister, and you got Robert Smith just laying in the bed there, just waiting for his demise, waiting for to be fucking as he's taken away, almost in like it's like a Nightmare on Elm Street, kind of thing, whatever, they go through the bed or whatever at the end of it. But anyway, it was just scary. I gotta say, it was spooky. Can you believe that? Unnerving. I can't say it enough. And right off the get-go, I mean, the guitar tone here, I mean, we're talking about gothic rock, I guess you would say, with the Cure, as they're put on, at least on Wikipedia genre, of course, in there, from their looks, I mean, they're gothic, but, some post-punk vibes for me anyway. And I just say that because the guitar tone here really reminds me of something from like Joy Division. It's very dark, and whenever I think of a dark tone that sounds like this in this song here, JD comes to mind, I gotta say, Bernard Sumner. But I really enjoyed how kind of, I want to say, I guess, dissonant, I would say the guitar is, or maybe just discomforting the guitar is, along with the bass guitar. When that bass rolls in, it's groovy, it's dark as well. And it's so slow. Everything about it is slow, obviously. We're talking about Nightmare Fuel here. And it's so slow, and as I mentioned earlier there, it's sinister, and you could tell there's a point here. And we're gonna get to the point, which is at the end of the song, where it seems like, again, the demise happened. But yeah, I just loved how slow and calculated it all was, and how moody it is. I mean, it's atmospherically dark too. And if that makes sense, the atmosphere here is very dark. It's very black. It's very cloudy and gray, everything about it, my God. But I did have to say there, and I do believe it was a strings, at least from what I saw in the video, it looked like a violin or something like that, but I apologize. But the plucking there, that made the song, it's very nightmarish, but it made the plucking, at least in some elements, the keyboards too, a little bit. And again, the strings were a bit sweeping, which was very nice. I mean, very nice strings, no matter what it sounded like, no matter if it made you want to crawl in a hole or not. But there was a bit of a dreaminess to it. It wasn't all just so dark, I guess, even though, yeah, pretty much it was. But there was a little bit of a lightness to it, at least in the Cure's own unique way. So that was just fun to me. That was fun to me, yeah. And that constant beat, as I said, I loved it in the video how it just you had the drummer just boom, boom, the marching band kind of a thing that surrounded Robert and his band. And so anyway, love that continuous solid drumming from I forget the friggin' names of the people here. Again, it's been so long, I apologize, but Robert Smith, looking at the personnel here, Robert Smith is on vocals. He's on 6-string bass and the keyboards too. So the 6-string bass there, I mean, that was obviously very integral to that big bellowing sound that the track had at different points. Simon, my God, Simon Gallup, I'm losing my voice. Simon Gallup here is on bass guitar, as I mentioned, groovy as all hell. And I always say it, but I remember you remember comments, and when I said groovy about a bass line before, somebody just said, groovy, what the fuck are you saying? Groovy went out in the 70s. Anyway, it's groovy, it makes you move, it's danceable. At the end of the day, the song is danceable, for no matter how hushed and unnerving it is, unsettling it is. Poor old Thompson on guitar here as well. And like I said, I just loved his like when the guitar came in, I was like, "Oh, that sounds very." I keep saying the same words, but that sounds good. Whatever, that sounds nice in its own sinister way, whatever you want to say. And then of course again you got the bass coming over that as well, and it was just a match made in heaven between Simon and Pearl. Boris Williams is on drums here, and like I said, I love the constant beat there from Boris. On the drums and percussion, and Roger O'Donnell was on keyboards, and like I mentioned, keyboards here with Robert Smith and Roger O'Donnell, and the keyboards, I mean, twinkling at points. Again, they're twinkling at points, but at other points, they could be a bit more on the opposite side of that, a bit more negative sounding, in a way of, against scariness. And then Lowell Tulhurst, it says here in the end personnel, he was on other instruments, but then in brackets it says he does not actually play on this record. So, or on this song, I guess. And, yeah, so, or maybe it is just the record. Either way, he's not on the song, I guess, but they say he's on other instruments, but apparently not. So, there you go there. And talking about the personnel. Again, it's been years since I last reacted to these guys, so just had to give them their due again. And, but like I said, going back to Robert Smith's voice, because that's kind of the focal point over top of, as much of over top it can be with such a quiet whisper. He just sounds so, I don't know if it's like dejected. He sounds very scared. He sounds very unsettled. I mean, and he just puts that point across so well. And you can feel the danger he's in, and that makes you feel almost in danger as well. So I just loved his emotion here, and it worked out very well. You get the point across very well. So let's get into these lyrics now, and just to say this, from what I was reading, I saw whether it was his dad or his uncle, somebody, when Robert Smith was a kid, somebody told him, I guess, scary, spooky stories before he would go to bed. They would tell him lullabies, but the end would always be very, it would always end with death, or it would always end kind of sadly or scarily or whatever. And Robert remembered this, and kind of, I guess that was part of the inspiration in the song. And I don't know if this is an actual character. Of course, Spider-Man is an actual character, but I don't know if this is a character that his dad or his uncle or whoever made up for him. And again, he's remembering that specifically. But I have also seen, I believe the producer of the track, I don't remember if it was or not, my goodness gracious, but Dave Allen and of course Robert Smith produced this. I forget who said it, but apparently they also said it might have been Robert talking about his drug past and talking about how drugs, tangle you up kind of like a spider can, and in the video there too, with the cobwebs surrounding Robert as the video goes on. Oh my goodness gracious! But anyway, just to say that off the top, whether it's drugs, and also of course we are talking about his nightmares as well. I mean, what a nice storyteller his dad or whatever it was. I mean, my God, to be talking to be giving a story like that and then saying, all right, have a good night. That's crazy. But let's get into the lyrics here. My God, for the intro, I spy with my little eye something beginning with S. And the way that you could hardly even hear him when he comes in with that intro, you're like, what did he just say? He's even quieter than he becomes in the first verse. So that was just a eerie start right off the get-go. But of course, I Spy, a kid's game. We're starting off pretty innocent here, and you understand that the thing beginning with S here is the aforementioned Spider-Man. My God. So on candy striped legs, the Spider-Man comes. On candy striped legs. I love the detail right off the get-go. Softly through the shadow of the evening sun. Talking about, I get the sun, the details great here. The evening, my God, of course, because we're in bed. Stealing past the windows of the blissfully dead. It's almost like I can imagine Vincent Price, saying this or something. My God, looking for the victim shivering in bed again, and Robert's the victim here. The narrator's the victim in the track, and the spider's coming after him. Oh my God! And from what we find out, doesn't matter if he tries to leave or not or move or whatever. It seems like that just makes the Spider-Man worse. Searching out fear in the gathering gloom. Again, gloomy, blissfully dead. I mean, it's all just great detailed words here. And suddenly a movement in the corner of the room, and then you got the corners of the room. You had Robert all up in makeup as well. I mean, I loved the production of this. I loved how serious it was taken. And there was nothing I can do when I realized with fright that the Spider-Man is having me for dinner tonight. I'm like, oh my God. And again, there's nothing you can do. And as well, it's almost like he has sleep paralysis, it seems like maybe too. He can't even move, because the Spider-Man is so, it just makes him, it freezes him. I mean, he's frozen with fright. He, even if he wanted to move, he couldn't. Quietly he laughs and shaking his head, creeps closer now, closer to the foot of the bed. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be looking at the foot of my bed when I'm going to sleep tonight, and my cat better be ready for anything that comes out of the closet over there. And softer than shadow and quicker than flies. I gotta, you think about spiders, flies, but he's quicker than a fly, of course. His arms are all around me and his tongue in my eyes. And when he said that, his tongue in my eyes, I was like, Jesus, tongue in my eyes. I don't want a spider's tongue in my eyes, that's for sure. Maybe somebody, but not that. Be still, be calm, be quiet now, my precious boy. And the way that the Spider-Man is talking here. Don't struggle like that. I will only love you more. Again, don't struggle like that. Don't try to get away, because I will only attack you worse, or things will only be worse for you. And again, if you want to go the drug way, that I think about that in this sense, really, in this line, when you talk about don't struggle with trying to quit, maybe in a way, because you'll only want to do the drug more. I mean, that kind of a thing comes to mind if you want to go that lane as well. But either way, for it's much too late to get away or turn on the lights, or turn on the light, because once you turn on the lights, spooky things seem to go away sometimes. The Spider-Man is having you for dinner tonight. And when you talk about the Spider-Man, I just think about a big spider. But I don't know, I guess in this way, does he have legs? Does he have actual human legs or whatever? I mean, the depiction of the Spider-Man is scary enough, but holy moly. And of course, the 8 legs coming at you and ripping you apart, or at least tangling up with you, and you got the tongue on you. Holy frig. The bridge, and I feel like I'm being eaten, hello, by 1,000 million, 1,000 million, love that, shivering furry holes. And it's just the furry holes I would think of the mouth. It just feels like and that's just, that's... That just makes your skin crawl right there. Shivering furry holes. I don't want that. And I know that in the morning I will wake up in the shivering cold, and the Spider-Man is always hungry. And so it's like a recurring nightmare, I guess. He's not actually, I guess, being eaten, but he's having this nightmare that he is. And when he wakes up, he knows that that night when he goes to bed, the next night there after waking up, he knows he's going to have this kind of nightmare again. It's just a recurrent cycle that will never go away. That's just terrible. Then we have the outro. Come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. I have a little something here. And there's a lot of points here that point back to nursery rhymes, or again, lullabies, whatever. And a lot of lullabies, you think about, the cradle or whatever, at the end of that, where the cradle falls and down will come the baby, cradle and all, whatever the fuck, that's not a very happy ending. So there are some lullabies with, scary endings. So that comes to mind too. But talking about here, come into my parlor, said to the fly, I have a little something here, and there's an annotation here on genius.com. And yeah, it talks about how this is inspired by the poem, The Spider and the Fly. And of course, how the spider is trying to take advantage of the fly. My goodness gracious. And like the Spider Man here is trying to take advantage of Robert in his dreams. And thank God for Robert's figurehead there for reading them scary stories, I guess. At least we got the song out of it, but my God, that's just nightmare fuel. Holy moly. So anyway, it was fun finally coming back to the Cure here. It's like I never left them, same kind of vibe, same kind of voice, same kind of eeriness, and same guitar and bass tone that I always loved from them. And it was just kept you on your toes. It was unpredictable at points too, and Robert Smith's voice was just so, I'm trying to think of another word to describe that I haven't used yet, but uneasy, So anyway, I guess that's all I got to say. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. Thanks for coming back to another Cure reaction. I don't know if anyone cares for me doing the Cure at this point, 2026. It's been so long, but we'll see. But thanks for everything. I'll talk to you guys again soon.